Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Intuitive Angling. Really appreciate you guys taking some time out of your 4th of July weekend to watch the video here. And I've been wanting to do this for a little bit. You guys, everybody's familiar with that new Sleeper Gill that came out. Megabass came out. I did a video on it a couple weeks ago. You've probably seen a lot of videos on it. And I sort of wanted to give you guys an update on the Sleeper Gill because I've had a chance to fish with it quite a bit more even since I did the first video on it. So I'm getting real familiar with, how to fish it, and I'm gonna give you guys some tips and advice on it. And if you guys are interested in any of them, I'll include the Baitworks link in the description. I know they got another shipment coming in there. And also you can use that Baitworks link to get the Randy Blocker 2 model solar bat sunglasses are sold at Baitworks now. So using that link's a good way to help the channel. Okay guys, let's talk about this. I've heard a lot of feedback on this ever since I did that video on the Sleeper Gill. A lot of people got some mixed, reviews on the thing. I can tell you right now, the people that have fished the thing and they've been around some fish know how effective this thing is. There's something about this bait special. The bass will hit it, the good fish will hit it. And there's a couple different situations that I want to talk about specifically this time of year from what I found out the last couple of weeks. I'm going to share with you guys. So anyway, first of all, I'm going to go over a couple of the colors that I've really found out works good. Hey guys, let's talk a little bit about colors here. The Sleeper Gill comes in quite a few different colors, but these are the three that I've narrowed down to what the ones that I've had the best success on based upon conditions. Now, this right here, I probably got more bites and caught more fish on this one right here than any of them out there. This is like a pumpkin seed color. It's got orange on the bottom. This is a really good color, especially under some type of low light conditions. When you've got shade early in the morning, late in the day, and if you've got water visibility sort of in that 2 to 3 foot range, it's really good. But I've had a bunch of good fish hit this one right here. This has probably been my favorite color so far. It really looks like a perch in the water. Now this one here, I've had some pretty good success on it on up in the day, like when the water is a little bit clear, and if it's brighter, sunny, up in the day, not like a lot of overcast, that type of stuff, bright sun, and more of the shad pattern. It's a lot more, it blends into the water a little bit more, and this has been a real good color for me in super clear water, or like I said, on those bright days. And this particular pattern here, this bluegill pattern right here, has been really good for me if you've got some type of cloudy overcast conditions. There's something about this pattern right here, whatever it is, but like I said, I can get bit on this thing pretty good early in the morning or on the days when you got cloudy overcast days, and for whatever reason, these three right here have been my most effective colors as far as the color patterns go. And then I will talk a little bit about areas. Okay guys, let's talk a little bit about areas where you're going to fish these things at. When the Sleeper Gill first came out, one of the first things that I thought this thing was going to be really good for fishing offshore, like for fishing main lake points in the summertime, fishing deep, same places you'd fish like a big swim bait or a big jig or a big worm, deep crankbait, something like that. And to be honest with you, I have not done that good on it in that type of water. I've tried to get it to work, but for whatever reason, I haven't caught many fish doing that. And I've experimented with it quite a bit on several different lakes around here. It could just be the lakes I'm fishing, could be the situation with that, a combination of things. But absolutely the prime time for this, and what I have found that it works best at, and how I'm going to incorporate my arsenal, is any time that you're on a bite where you're catching them shallow on like a spinnerbait, a chatterbait, a swim jig, something like that. That is when the Sleeper Gill excels. Now, for example, if you're going down the bank and you're casting at targets like a grass edge or stumps or laydowns or boat dock pilings or something like that, anytime that you have bass that are positioned on ambush points that you're catching like on swim jigs and spinnerbaits and chatterbaits, that type of stuff, that Sleeper Gill will pull those fish off of those isolated targets better than anything I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like it. If you have water visibility at least 2 foot, ideally I like the 2 to 4 foot clarity for this bait. If there's a good fish sitting next to an object, it's going to pull that fish out, and they'll either eat it or they're going to look at it. And the thing that I really like about the Sleeper Gill is it's a swim bait, and when you're talking about fishing glide baits and swim baits, they're notorious for pulling fish out off a cover and they don't eat the bait. I'm guessing out of all the bites I've had on the Sleeper Gill, if I pull 10 fish off a piece of cover with it, I'm guessing 6 to 7 of those fish will eat the bait out of the 10. And if I pull a fish off of a piece of cover with a glide bait or another type of a big swim bait, probably maybe 1 to 2 or maybe 3 of those fish will hit the bait, and 6 or 7 of them will just look at it and swim off. That is the advantage that I see with this bait. I've never fished a bait in a long time that will actually get the attention of the fish and get them to bite it under a certain set of situations. So for me, when I first saw this thing, I'm thinking like you guys did, it's just a swim bait, fishing in the mid-depth water columns, that type of stuff. But it's not. To me, it's a shallow water power fishing bait. I'm gonna be fishing this thing most of the time on like 20-pound test Seaguar and Vizix line, 7-foot 2-inch rod, making short pitches, short casts, just like I would a spinner bait or something around shallow objects. That is when this thing shines. And man, when they get that thing, they will clobber it. I mean, if they're in the right mood and the right personality, they attack it viciously, just like it was a live bluegill. It's not like they swim it behind it and just suck it in or something. They actually go up and try to attack the thing. It's a super fun bait to fish, guys. You definitely want to give it a try. It's not a gimmick, I can promise you. If you tried it and you're not getting bites on it, you're either fishing it wrong or in the wrong water or in the wrong lake. So it's the real deal for sure. But anyway, thanks for tuning in to the video, guys. Like I said, check with Baitworks. I'll include a link in the description. I know they got a bunch more on order coming in. And also, please hit that subscribe button and the notification button, man. We're moving onward, trying to hit 80,000. So help us get there. It'd be much appreciated if you join the ride. So talk to you later.